The most expensive real estate is located in the center of the city. The 1 square meter costs from $10.
嗨，大家好，我是独立离岸顾问上，关注我，让你全球都有人。我们全球人 GlobalMed Consultancy 的亚美尼亚公司注册好啦！大家知道吗？当我步入当地工商局，到资料填写完毕，一直到获批拿到我手上这个营业执照，全程居然只需要20分钟。作为海外公司注册的专业顾问，我也被这个政府效率给震惊了。世界第一快的公司注册速度有木有？当然，各位授权注册的朋友，我们亚美尼亚当地美女同事也正在一一处理中，等着你的大丰收吧。今天这个视频，我们邀请到了亚美尼亚国家基金会旗下的多功能商业知识专家 Arusiak 做客我们的节目。这位亚美尼亚美女不仅颜值在线，学历更是牛掰到爆炸。她可是莫斯科国立大学的毕业生 ，PhD 身份，还拥有博士后经历。在俄乌战争爆发后，这位嘉宾更是做了一个让人惊呼666的决定，毅然决然地从莫斯科回到了祖国亚美尼亚。他立志要帮助更多的人在亚美尼亚创业，为祖国的商业环境添砖加瓦。他的目标就是要把亚美尼亚打造成一个创业者的天堂。这不，今天他要给我们爆料一些在亚美尼亚开公司以及后续生活和申请永居的内部消息。好了，废话不多说 ，Let's get into it.
Hello, Arusiak. How are you?
Hi Sean, I'm fine, and you?
Yeah, I'm pretty good. Arusiak, can you briefly introduce yourself first to our audience?
Sure. And business is a multifunctional business support center under the National Center Foundation. Support center creates mechanisms for interaction between business and government agencies and offers transparency of business procedures in various fields of activity. So our goal is to improve the business environment in Armenia and develop convenient mechanisms for business and create an institutional resource for serving to entrepreneurs and facilitating the attraction of investments.
Thank you so much, Arusiak. So here I also have around 4 to 5 questions from my audience. The first will be, why should international entrepreneurs consider forming a company and living in Armenia?
Okay, thank you for your question. Being an entrepreneur in Armenia has financial and legal benefits as the country has a transitional economy. Opening and relocating business activities or branches of non-resident companies in Armenia, companies will have the possibility to offer their goods or services in a new market. Moreover, companies will acquire new clients and partners, diversify their business risks, and so on. The advantages of doing business in Armenia are due to free economic relations, flexible banking and tax systems, and simplified company registration procedures. If in more detail, I can tell some opening and running a company in Armenia advantages. Armenia has the fastest and easiest procedure for opening a company in the world. Opening an LLC will take about 20-30 minutes, and all you need is a passport of any citizenship.
Yes.
So there are no minimum requirements for the authorized capital when registering companies. Registration is free of charge. The Armenian legislation allows registering various legal entities for foreigners, and Armenian tax code provides various tax privileges for different types of businesses, and also Armenia stands out with its secure and flexible banking system.
Yes.
Doing business in Armenia is more profitable because the business environment has not yet reached the peak of its development. Also, Armenia is a country where culture meets innovations. So, situated between Europe and Asia, it has been able to draw on the strengths of both worlds, strengthening trade and strategic relations with the European Union and the United States, who bring Armenia closer to Western markets and institutions, while at the same time remaining a bridge between Europe and Asia. Also, Armenia is a bridge between northern and southern countries, and it is not surprising that the construction of the North-South Road continues, and the whole route will be ready for exploitation by the end of this year. It is a superb opportunity to transfer, export, and or import goods, products, and raw materials. So Armenia had an impressive 10.5% economic growth recorded in 2023, and opening up ample opportunities for foreign investors and entrepreneurs. Armenia is the only country in Eurasia that is a member of the Eurasian Economic Union and has a comprehensive and enhanced partnership agreement agreement with the European Union and as well as the GCP regime with the United States and Norway and Switzerland, which provides access to a market of 1.5 billion people with 0% custom duties. And despite being the smallest country in the Caucasus region, it's fascinating to learn that 90% of venture capital in the South Caucasus was invested in Armenia in 2023. So agricultural procedures with annual sales of less than $220,000 and micro businesses with annual sales of less than $55,000 are exempt from business taxes. That's all for now.
Thank you so much, Arizia. It's good to know that Armenia is the smallest country here in this area, but Armenia has the biggest picture also in this area. That's good to know that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
不得不说，亚美尼亚的营商环境对国际企业家们真是太友好了。仅仅不到半小时的快速公司注册，灵活的税收政策，战略地理位置，还有令人惊叹的经济增长率。你认不认可亚美尼亚正在成为下一个世界级创业者天堂？
Okay, Aruziak, how does Armenian social system support international entrepreneurs doing business and living in Armenia?
Okay, thank you for the question. In the light of economic growth that started in Armenia in recent years, the number of people who want to obtain resident status of citizenship in Armenia is increasing. And residency statuses are mainly obtained in Armenia because the taxes are lower as compared to with other countries. For example, Armenia has several tax advantages for people carrying out activities in the field of information technologies, IT, and the procedure of registering a company in Armenia is simplified, and foreign investments in Armenia are increasing. So government has initiated reforms that allow newly created startups with up to 30 workers to be tax exempt for 5 years, and with their personal income tax lowered from 20% to 10%. And if a company relocates to Armenia with at least 10 employees who have not previously worked in Armenia, the government will reimburse 50% of the paid personal income tax. If the company attracts a highly qualified professional from abroad to Armenia, it will be able to receive subsidies of up to 70% of their salary for 3 consecutive years. Yes.
Okay.
So Armenia guarantees the use of all rights and freedoms to the citizens of the Republic of Armenia by foreign citizens, and protects their personal data as well as not to transfer to other people, organizations and states unless otherwise stipulated by the legislation of Armenia and international agreements.
Thank you so much.
这些政策真是太吸引人了，税收优惠、工资补贴，还有对高技能人才的特别支持。亚美尼亚正在用实际行动欢迎国际人才和企业。
Are there any legal provisions or regulations on the conditions for applying for permanent residence or even citizenships after forming a company here in Armenia?
Thank you, Sean, for the question. Through entrepreneurial activity, a foreign citizen can apply for temporary, permanent, and special residency status in Armenia. Temporary residency status is one of the options for being in Armenia on a legal basis. Temporary residence status is granted for a period of 1 year, with the possibility of further extension. Temporary residence status can be obtained those who submit valid documents proving why they must live in Armenia for 1 year or more. Foreign citizens staying in Armenia who carrying out entrepreneurial activity. Permanent resident status (PRS) in Armenia is granted to foreign citizens for 5 years, with the possibility of extending it each time for a specified period. Foreign entrepreneurs can apply for this status if they have previously lived in Armenia for at least 3 years before submitting the application, and carries out an entrepreneurial activity in Armenia, shareholder of a legal entity or registers as an individual entrepreneur. Special resident status in Armenia: when non-Armenians want to obtain a special residence status in Armenia, they must submit a document proving the implementation of economic or cultural activities in Armenia. Unlike the decisions on obtaining temporary and permanent residence statuses, the decision of obtaining of this or refusing to obtain a special residence status is made by the President of Armenia. and the special residence status is granted for a period for 10 years, with the possibility of further extensions for the same period.
这真是千载难逢的大机遇啊！临时、永久和特殊居留身份的选择，为企业家们提供了灵活的选择，这无疑吸引了更多的国际人才长期在亚美尼亚发展。
Here's a question from our current entrepreneurs who just formed their business in Armenia. How many times should a founder come over to Armenia from company formation to permanent residence?
I suppose that at least 2 times when getting a bank card and when getting a residency card, and a non-resident CEO who doesn't have desire to live constantly in Armenia is entitled without work permission or and residency card to remain as CEO and accomplish obligation remotely. Nonetheless, if non-resident CEOs want to stay and work in Armenia, they must get a work permit or residency card. So the answer is at least 2 times.
Thank you so much for your clarification. That's so helpful for our entrepreneurs.
这里Arusiak 说到拿居留权需要2次入境亚美尼亚，其实还是考虑了本地银行开户的情况。随着我们全球人团队在亚美尼亚当地建立分公司并拓展本地人才队伍，我们从实际操作层面来看，其实我们甚至可以优化为1次入境直接拿居留卡。如果您不开亚美尼亚本地银行账户，您首先可以免去这次开户入境的要求。其次，即便要开本地银行账户，我们全球人团队也和以 Arching Bank 为代表的多家本地银行建立了深度合作机制，可以远程审核客户资质，甚至100%实现免入境面签，完成开户手续。因此，大家只需要在递交申请时来亚美尼亚外交部一次即可。
I also got a question from my clients. So they care about the living conditions here in Armenia. How is the house sale price in Armenia? Because many Chinese people like to own their own house. This is the first and the most important question everyone cares about.
Okay, thank you, Sean. It's a really important question. So the main housing market is concentrated in Yerevan. So the most expensive real estate is located in the center of the city, and 1 square meter costs from $3,000 to $4,000. On the secondary market of Yerevan, in the center, a square meter will cost $1.5 to $2.5 thousand. Outside the central district of Yerevan, a square meter will cost cheaper, from $800 to $1,000. As I said, if you talk about the cost of housing in the other regions, not Yerevan, in other regions and cities, it's several times lower than in Yerevan, and foreigners are allowed to purchase and type of real estate in any city of Armenia.
Okay.
The only exception is agricultural land, which foreign citizens are not allowed to purchase.
这些亚美尼亚本地的房价信息也太有价值了吧！从首都最中心，再到周边以及其他地区，价格范围广泛，适合不同预算的人，而且外国人可以自由购买房产，这对想要在亚美尼亚安家的企业家来说，绝对是个巨大优势。对了，值得一提的是，我采访基金会代表 Arusiak 的地方叫做 Startup Campus， 是亚美尼亚首都艾里温最知名的创业者基地、数字游民聚集地。有机会过来的话，一定要去走走。各位老铁们，我们刚刚和 Arusiak 聊完，是不是大家已经被亚美尼亚的创业环境给惊呆了？20分钟注册公司，5年免税，高达70%的工资补贴，这哪是创业，简直是开挂啊！还有那房价，艾里温市中心才3000到4000美元一平。香港、新加坡以及北上广深的朋友们，你们还好吗？不仅如此，亚美尼亚还给咱们准备了各种居留身份，简直就是为数字游民量身定制的天堂。兄弟姐妹们，看了今天的视频，如果你也对这个高加索小国的无限商机感兴趣，想要深入了解或者跃跃欲试，以及后面的永居申请，打造您的全球人身份，都欢迎您在视频下方留言，和我们一起讨论交流，或者直接私信我们一起研究研究。记得订阅我们频道，打开小铃铛，别错过更多关于全球创业以及亚美尼亚的劲爆内容。最后，再次感谢 Arusiak 的精彩分享，各位只需要准备好你们的护照 ，Let's make it happen in Armenia。顺手牵羊，一个关于去中心化资产管理和无国界生活方式的频道，我是Sean，我们下期见，拜拜。